together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
It's Wednesday. It is time for our new series. Welcome, everybody, to the new and improved Daily Trudge. It's really not going to change much. So, yeah, it's going to change some. I'll be adding things here and there. We'll just say that. But happy Wednesday to you. I've had a pretty good day yesterday. I find it funny that sometimes we'll do things, we present good news to people, and they get sometimes people get a little jealous, man. When I bring something up and people just want to, God ticked me off. Present something. Hey, we're starting a new group, and okay, doesn't matter. If you don't have anything nice to say, maybe just don't say anything at all. But this is why I don't always share good news, because it is not always received. So I share it with my friends that I know support me. I do a lot of work. I put a lot of effort into this, and So I went and saw the new East Metro Detox yesterday. They did a fantastic job. I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, they did good job, Aurora Mental Health. Good job. They even have a place for the employees to go. They have their own floor. They have their own space, making sure that they have cots and showers. And because working at detox, you can get dirty. It can be a dirty job, when you're, cleaning up puke and other bodily excrements. All right. Hey, Angel, good to see you. Yeah, it's some introspection, huh? Yeah, it was just something I know, and I might even be wrong. Who knows? Who knows? But morning, Amber. Good morning, Angel. Today I'm meeting with Salvation Army, Harbor Lights. And I'm gonna get updated with them. But we're starting a new meeting. They asked me yesterday. It's been approved that and it's a nice room too. It's a nice room. And it's got a Sally door for emergency crews. They really put a lot of thought into this. Angel says, Angel says Detox has some lovely fashionable shoes. Yeah, they're yellow. But the rooms are nice. It's a brand new facility. They can hold up to 36 people. So good stuff. And right outside of that is their new treatment center. So it's going to be where you go to detox, and if you want treatment, you go to treatment right then and there. We do not wait. So that wait time is being eliminated. Good job, Aurora Mental Health. This is good stuff. It's over off I-225 in Mississippi. The address is 1290 South Potomac. So you can see it right off 225, literally. It's a brand new building, all the construction around it. That is the new campus for Aurora Mental Detox. But I digress. We are going to let's get to the show here today. the theme, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing themes either Tuesday through Saturday or Wednesday through Sunday, just depending on what I have going on Monday, Tuesday. This theme, and there'll be 5 days long, is the newcomer. Today, we're talking about step 0. We're going to go back to the beginning. But before we get started, we're going to tell some jokes, have a little bit of laughter. I'm looking for other I am looking for other segments like weird facts, things like that. So I've told a lot of these. I mean, like, I've really told all of these. Okay, here we go. And I will start to get a little bit better at doing that. Okay, so what is it called when a snowman throws a tantrum? A meltdown. Yep. What did the Scarecrow win an award for? He was outstanding in his. I like that one. That one was decent. What kind of cars do sheep drive? Lamborghinis. Oh. How do cows keep up on current events? They read the newspaper. The newspaper. All right. We're going to do 2 more. How do you make a waterbed bouncier? Fill it with Poland spring water. Yeah, I don't get that one. What do you call a can opener that doesn't work? A can't opener. Yeah. Actually a little bit better. All right. Well, before we get started, one of the things that is new is Odd Duck Out, the new AI band, Odd Duck Out. Amber says, Newcomer is the most important person in the room because our primary purpose is to help the next suffering alcoholic. Love the topic. Thank you. Angel says, singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it is a soap opera. I got to the laugh track in time on that one. But it is time for Odd Duck Out to sing today's song for us. This one is called Before It Makes Sense. I certainly hope you enjoy it. All right, get ready for the Trudging Together band, Odd Duck Out.
I drank for the feeling, not the fall. Chase that ease, lost it all. Couldn't tell the truth from the lie. Just wanted peace for a little while. Willpower failed me every time. Promise tomorrow, cross that line. Then something changed I can't explain, and nothing's ever been the same. It didn't start with understanding. It started when I stayed. It didn't start with understanding.
All right. Thank you, Odd Duck Out, for that new song, Before I Stayed. Um, this um, um, this topic. Now, first off, alcoholics, we're not weak. We're not weak people. This isn't about willpower. This isn't, you know. But early sobriety can be very touchy. It wasn't easy for me. Those first 30 days, man, they just sucked. But we got to get them. We got to get them over with, right? And today we're talking about what we call step zero, the step before the steps. It was a step that you did that you didn't even realize that you probably did. It comes with the gift of desperation. And we call it the psychic change. Okay. Psychic means mind, change means change. It just means that you changed your mind, that you didn't want to continue drinking anymore. You didn't want to continue living this type of life anymore. Okay. And I'll say it again, alcoholics are not weak. Something overrides that choice. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, we're intelligent people. We do have morals, and determination certainly is not the issue. We have a lot of determination. Once we have set our minds to something, right? Look at all the different ways that you decided you were going to try and get alcohol. Now, if you're new to the program, there's a few things that I like to always talk about in the beginning. Okay. Number one, the first thing is going to feel weird. It's going to it might feel worse before it feels better, but you don't have to go through it again if you don't want to. This could be the last time. This could be the last time that you are detoxing from alcohol or coming off your drug of choice. You don't have to go through it again. There is an answer, right? And if you have reached your bottom on what you consider to be enough, and your bottom is your bottom, it's the only one that matters, right? So what we do here is if I can take your bottom and I can raise it to meet you, then I am following what the big book is telling me to do. See, I'm a recovered alcoholic with the solution. And because of that, I'm in a unique position to be able to help other people out. And you get to be that person too. Okay. One other thing, you're going to be wrong about everything in the beginning. And you're going to have to be okay with it. Right. I was wrong about everything that came out of my mouth. But what I was doing is I was learning. So don't be afraid to open your mouth. Okay. It's okay to speak in the meetings. And you may be right. You may say something like, "Oh, I've been sober 2 weeks. I got this." And the group may say something to you because we don't got this. Right. No. Right. Maybe together we got this. We do have a solution, but making that statement is a little dangerous. It's okay to be wrong because we are learning. In fact, in the beginning, it's just going to feel like we're picking on you. It's going to kind of feel that way. And in a sense, we are, because we love you and we want you to have the facts. We want you to have the facts about alcoholism, right? So if willpower worked, none of us would be here. When it comes to willpower, I had willpower for a lot of different things. Absolutely, I did. But when it came to alcohol, nope. Nope. Even chocolate. I can have one or two cookies. I don't go back and finish the sleeve always, right? And in the beginning, speaking of which, if you are new to recovery, chocolate or sugar, keep sugar around, some Jolly Ranchers or something, because alcohol is 80% sugar and you are also detoxing from sugar. It's one of the things that I asked the new detox to have, was sugar available, and they agreed with me. Hmm. So just as a heads up, the detoxes in Colorado are going to look a little different now because they all have to be clinical now. There are no more peer um, detoxes. Those are over. So I'm going to start in the doctor's opinion here. It says I'm going to start on XXVIII, which is page 28 in Roman numerals. Of course, an alcoholic ought to be freed from his physical craving for liquor, and this often requires a definite hospital procedure before psychological measures can be of maximum benefit. Now, what we're talking about that is the detoxing from the alcohol. Okay. And it can take up to 28 days. It can. Not always. Okay. Your mind will most likely be cleared before that, and you can start working on the steps. The main thing is that we have not put alcohol into our system that day. That is kind of the requirement in order to work the steps. You have got to be, you can't have the hooch in you because the hooch does something to my mind that where it doesn't coincide, right? We believe, and so suggested a few years ago, that the action of alcohol in these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy, that the phenomenon of craving is limited to this class and never occurs in the average temperate drinker. All right. So, what they're saying there is that you're kind of bodily and mentally different. All right. You'll see other people, and I'll talk about this shortly. You'll see other people drinking without impunity, which means no consequences. But they don't take it to the extreme that we do. For me, once I take a drink, I no longer have any choice over how much more I'm going to drink. I've never had the choice. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never tried. It was all or nothing for me. Now, these allergic types can never safely use alcohol in any form. Okay? Any form. Okay? Even Michelob Ultra. Right? No. Alcohol, non-alcoholic beer. No, it has alcohol in it. Eventually, I tell you now, you're just gonna get frustrated and pee a lot. I know, because I tried it. And all it really does is piss the people off around you because they think that you're trying to buck the system. Those people that love you. So no, let's stay away from the non-alcoholic beer and things like that. That is not for us. Watching you, it's cold season, so you can't be taking NyQuil, right? Can't be taking that cold medicine with alcohol. There's a lot of things with alcohol in it. So read those. Even when you go get a drink at 7-Eleven, be careful. Be careful. So, these allergic types can never safely use alcohol in any form at all. And once having formed the habit and found they cannot break it, once having lost their self confidence, their reliance upon things human, their problems pile up on them and they become astonishingly difficult to solve. And part of it is we don't want to solve them because these are our excuses to drink, right? These are our excuses to drink. So, and what is part of this? I'll cover it real quick here. There's a physical part to it. When you drink, you don't dream. And when you don't dream, you don't REM. When you don't REM, you don't get the sleep you need. And then what happens? Well, delusional thinking starts to happen. It doesn't matter who you are. Lack of sleep will create delusional thoughts. Now add alcohol onto it. A depressant, all right? Goes on to say frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. Begging an alcoholic to get sober usually doesn't work. Crying, anger, if anything, it'll drive the alcoholic off Sometimes, not all times. It can be done correctly. Okay. You can have what's called an intervention, but an intervention does not have frothy emotional appeal in it. I'm begging you, please quit drinking. That's frothy emotional appeal. Where an intervention is going to be these these are your actions and they are affecting us and we want you to realize them. Intervention can work. It's you get the right interventionist. Anyway, the message we can interest and hold these alcoholic people must have depth and weight. In nearly all cases, their ideals must be grounded in a power greater than themselves if they are to recreate their lives. Say it. Any recovery void of a higher power is incomplete. Right? That's been my experience. Now I see plenty of people who are not drinking. They're claiming recovery, but if you're happy and helping other people and you're giving it away because it was freely given to you, and you don't believe in God, I ain't got no arguments. I'll tell you why. Because I still see God working in your life. I still see it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to tell you that's awesome. That's great stuff. That's going to be for you to figure out. But it says that the alcoholic must have depth and weight. That's where you and I come in. We are the people that help other people become willing to seek another way. We are those people. Can I force them? No, but I can certainly use my experience and let them know that I know how they feel, right? It doesn't take much for me to put myself in their shoes. Doesn't take much, right? Well, the difference is I have a solution. I've been there. I know what to do. I have a kit of spiritual tools that I get to utilize all the time. Ah. So he goes on to say if any field that a psychiatrist directing a hospital for alcoholics, we appear somewhat sentimental, let them stand us a while on the firing line, see the tragedy, the despairing wives, the little children, let the solving of these problems become a part of their daily work and even of their sleeping moments. In the most cynical, not wonder that we have accepted and encouraged this movement. Yeah. Yeah. I do a lot of stuff I do a lot of frontline work. I see this on I wouldn't say a daily basis, but a weekly basis. And if we're going to be starting a detox meeting, we're going to be seeing it even more. But that's where I belong. That's where I belong. I belong on the front lines. We're the healers. We're we're the people. What do you call them? We're the people that apply the bandages and help out and work with this. All right. And yeah, I may appear somewhat sentimental to people. I am when it comes to recovery. I'm very sentimental about it. I'm also very protective about it. Probably a little too much. Okay. I I didn't stir one pot yesterday. Okay. There were people there that the pot needed to be stirred, but I stayed away from it. All right. So good job, Dion. We feel after many years of experience that we have found nothing which has contributed more to the rehabilitation than the altruistic movement now growing up among them. We know what altruistic is, don't we? It means without pay, without expectation. Okay. I don't I don't do things for other people and keep track. I appreciate the reciprocation when it comes to the business side. But when it comes to helping other people out, there's no scoreboard. Definition of altruistic. Showing selfless concern for the well being of others without the care for one's own interests. I'm able to help more people. All right, let me put it this way. I have worked detox. Okay. I've helped more people as Dion the recovered alcoholic than I did as Dion the drug and alcohol counselor. Because I was getting paid. There was an interest. And the interest was my paycheck. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that that work doesn't need to be done by people like you and me. Certainly it does. Okay. The key for me when I am doing that type of work is that I have sponsees, that I go to a home group. People tend to get into the field and start thinking that they no longer need to freely give this away. And then I watch them start to revert back to who they were. I'm watching a couple people go through it in my life. Right. But here it comes. Men and women drink essentially because they like the effect produced by alcohol. There it is. I like the effect that alcohol gave me. I don't anymore. No, I don't anymore. But I did. In fact, it says the sensation is so elusive that while they admit it is injurious, they cannot, after a time, differentiate the true from the false. There's that lack of sleep again, too. See, all this stuff builds up, especially when it's compounded by years and years and years of abuse, of putting yourself in situations that you didn't belong in, dangerous situations. All right, going to any length to get that hooch. But when we get here, at least for me, when I got here, I didn't know the difference between the true and the false. I had to be taught. I had to be taught. I didn't know. To them, their alcoholic life seems the only normal one. Okay. Now, at this point, we need to talk about terminal uniqueness. Alcoholics tend to think that they are terminally unique. We're not. What is it? Let's go look that up too. Right. That's part of what we're gonna be doing here. Definition of terminal uniqueness.
Terminal uniqueness is the
Mistaken belief in addiction recovery and other struggles that one situation, pain, or experience are so exceptionally different or severe that standard solutions and support systems won't work for them, leading to isolation, resistance to help, and increased risk of relapse. It's a self centered mindset where individuals focus on the differences, feel superior to being uniquely broken, and believe they are exempt from the principles that others ultimately undermining their own healing. See, it was more than we thought, wasn't it? It gives feeling apart, rationalizes our behavior, resistance to help, isolation, superiority, and victimhood. And I'm going to tell you, it is partly right. You are beyond human aid. That's where it was correct. That the normal stuff doesn't quite work for us. Which is why we wrote a whole book about it. See, this book is put into language that I understand, that I get. It's written by alcoholics for alcoholics. Right? So we alcoholics think that we are terminally unique. And we are not terminally unique, but we are beautifully unique. You are beautiful in your uniqueness. Otherwise, why would we see the forest for the trees for the forest? Right? They are restless, irritable, and discontented unless they can again experience the sense and ease and comfort which comes at once by taking a few drinks, drinks which they see others taking with impunity. Now, I tell you, you can get to a point in your recovery where you can experience that sense and ease and comfort. It comes through a higher power. It comes from doing the work. It comes from confronting our problems, admitting that we were wrong. The best place to be at this point right here is I don't know. I no longer know. It's the best place to be for an alcoholic coming into the rooms. Because all your best thoughts, all your best actions got you to AA, just like me, or jail, or this, or that, right? Then we see others taking it with impunity. Well, why can't I have that? Well, because you abused it. Okay. Now let's remember something. Alcohol is no good for anybody at any time. So you ain't missing out on anything, alcoholics. I felt that way. I felt like I was missing out. No, I'd already been there. Hang out for a few hours, watch them start to get drunk. Then you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's why I don't fucking do that. Amber says, delivered to you by alcoholics. Yes. All right. After they have succumbed to the desire again, and that is the mental obsession that we're talking about. The mental obsession is thinking about it all day until you get it. How am I going to get this? Can I go to this liquor store? Have they seen me too much? What card can I use? Do I have enough cash? There is a lot of work that goes into getting that bottle and hiding it. Because, see, part of the problem is you're having to hide it too. Okay. And if you're having to hide your drinking, that is very much an indication of alcoholism. Right? And while I'm thinking about it, only you get to decide that you're an alcoholic. Nobody else gets to say, nobody else gets to deem that on you. That is something that is up to you. Okay. Before that, you have alcohol use disorder. Okay. Which I'm not huge on, but it is what it is. Right. So when it comes to alcoholism, self-diagnosis is the only legitimate diagnosis. All right. They pass through the well-known stages of a spree, emerging remorseful with a firm resolution not to drink again. Remember all those promises that you made? Right? This is repeated over and over. That's the insanity of the disease. And unless this person can experience an entire, that means all, an entire psychic change, there is very little hope of his recovery. Okay. So we're going to get into a little bit more. It is changing the way that we think. That is a psychic change. It's going to happen probably slowly. It might happen immediately. Who knows? Okay. Sometimes the psychic change comes with a spiritual experience. Sometimes it does not. Mine did not. Okay. My spiritual experience came a little bit later. Right. Then it goes on to say, on the other hand, and strange as it may seem to those who do not understand. Okay. Who are the people that do not understand? The people who have not experienced it. Because this is an experience that you will not understand until you've been through it. Yes. Otherwise, yeah. That's why AA groups are great. That's why, you know, Angel says I had shooters in my purse at work. Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah. I didn't go to the bar without a fifth in my pocket. I just order cheap PBRs and do shots every now and again in the bathroom. All right. So anyway, on the other hand, and strange as it may seem to those who do not understand, let's talk about time for a second. Time. Newcomers, let's talk about time. Time is really good for one thing, earning the trust of others. Okay. Now, AA will do for you in a matter of months. That'll take other doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists years to do. Okay. Our conception of time is different. You'll feel a lot better at 30, 60 days. But if you think you have earned the trust of other people that you have hurt, no, you have not yet. That is going to take time. Okay. So remember that. Remember that 20 years of drinking is not going to be erased in 30 days. And this is where we should probably talk about the living amends. This is a great place to talk about the living amends because you're an alcoholic who's trying to do better and you want people to know that. And that's okay. I understand that. But instead, what you're going to do is you're going to let it show through your actions because this is a program of action. Go do the dishes, go take out the trash, put a new trash bag in, pick up the dog poop, clean the baseboards. You've got a list of things that you've been needing to get done for years and you haven't done it. It's time to do it. Okay. And then when you are done, you are not to go to your significant other or whoever else and say, look at what a great job I did. What are we learning? We are learning delayed gratification, a skill you are going to very much need. And you're going to need to learn this one first. Delayed gratification. Be accountable. Accountability is the number one way to stay sober, in the beginning especially. Okay? I still do it. I'm still accountable. I'm here. All right. Find a home group, get a sponsor, do the steps. Go to a home group and let people see you day after day so that when you are not there one day, they will wonder where you are at. Okay. And what'll happen is you'll be driving down the street. You'll think a drink sounds good. Oh, I can't. I have my 5 o'clock meeting. I can't. I have to text my sponsor tonight. I can't. I have better things to do with my life. That's what'll happen. Because when you become accountable and tell people things, your intentions change. And when your intentions change, your view changes. And that's what we're going for here. Okay? AA is cognitive behavioral therapy with God. That's what it is. And it works very well. It's a proven system. All right. Ugh. Amber says Scott and I don't keep lists that long. We go crazy if we had something on there for years. Very good point. Very good point. Excuse me. Once a psychic change has occurred, the very same person who seemed doomed, who had so many problems he despaired of ever solving them, suddenly finds himself easily able to control his desire for alcohol. The only effort necessary being that required to follow a few simple rules. Yeah. So, in the beginning, everything is going to feel weird. Okay. And understanding what is going on is not necessarily going to happen right away. Okay. You don't have to fix this today. You don't have to understand this today. You just have to stay. In the beginning, that's all you need to do. Your only job is to stay sober, go to meetings, and breathe in and out. You're not required to do anything else. Yesterday we were talking with a guy and he's worried about something going to happen in the ninth step. He ain't even on his fourth step yet. So it's about living in today. That is the key. Living in the now. Okay. And that is going to be practiced. Everything in this program is practiced because it is not innate for us. All right. It's not innate. So, what feels impossible right now doesn't stay impossible. This too shall pass. All right. All right. This is the first in the series. Tomorrow we will be talking more about the newcomer and what is good for the newcomer, maybe how we meet the newcomer. You'll find out when I post it later. I don't want to give it up, and I don't remember which order it's going in off the top of my head. So I'll just be honest about it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.